And then in March, I think, is when I got the gig with JJ Lawhorn. And that was fun. That was a wild gig.
How much can you talk about that gig?
I mean, I'll say this. JJ is one of the most unique people I've ever met in my entire life.
Right.
So the style of music is like pretty heavy, like Southern rock country, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now JJ has done some stuff with people like Colt Ford and some like more on the like hip hop, country hip hop stuff,
known names
side.
Yeah.
So he ends up being in that category in people's minds and like playlists, and a lot of the shows we did were opening for people like that. But he doesn't do that. So it's like he like sings on the choruses, you know. He's like the Rihanna or whatever of that, you know. So yeah, but that was like, I mean, it was fun. It was a different experience than I'd ever had, like, you know, playing Mud Bogs and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
what's a gig in a Mud Bog look like, George?
Brown.
Muddy?
Yeah, like, dude, like, and it's okay. So for those of you who don't know, who aren't cultured enough to understand
you're not cultured
the
enough to
nuance of a mud bog,
you're about to find out.
it's basically like, now I think we only played it a couple, but you really only need one to get it.
Yeah, that's a unique enough gig.
It's
one and done.
I don't think they're that different from, like, one mud bog isn't that much better than another mud bog.
Oh, you don't know about the Mud Bog,
yeah,
George?
right. Yeah, right.
You're mistaken.
There's probably like
some Grand Prix of the mud bogging world.
Yeah, like there's probably like a hole 17 at the Masters kind of
Yes,
mud bog, you know, where
exactly.
it's just like not many people make it,
Yeah.
you know, not die, but like they got to get their rig like craned out of the hole or something. So a mud bog is basically like people who've turned trucks from being street legal to not being street legal because of lift kits that are like 3 stories tall.
Yeah, there's
Like, for real, like with giant tires, like what you'd see on a combine or something, you know? And they meet in some swamp. Seriously, it's basically a swamp. You know?
actually a swamp.
Yeah, because like the idea is that you need the trucks to be that ridiculous, right? You know, jacked up however many feet with giant tires, because at some point you're going to run through a swamp where you sink down to like being eye level with mud, you know? And that's, you know, I guess that's fun, you know?
That's part of the fun, yeah.
I think that, you know, I never did it, so I can't knock it. I bet it would be fun.
I'm sure it would be fun.
Can you imagine, like, just flooring it through a swamp?
I mean, you remember Daniel Clark from JMU.
Yeah.
He would talk about mud bogging, and we took his truck out during the Snowmageddon at JMU in 2016, and that was like the snow version of a mud bog.
Yeah.
And that was a blast.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the mud bogging would just be crazier and weirder.
Yeah, like, so if you roll up with like a clean shirt and clean pants and like, you know, nice shoes on, and you see people having just come out of the mud bog, you're not really in the headspace to want to go mud bogging.
You're not ready.
You're probably just like, okay, just stay away because I don't want you to get all this shit muddy and
Yeah. But you can't really avoid the mud in one of these things, right?
No, you can't. And I didn't know that. So I probably would have dressed accordingly had I known that that was going to be the case. But I mean, the name should have said it all. But for some reason, I didn't think there was going to be any mud. But I think it's one of those things where, like, if you get into the headspace, it turns all your bad feelings into good feelings. Like it probably become like all the nastiness of it becomes appealing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I imagine it was
more.
like fuel for JJ. Like,
Yeah.
I bet when he was playing there, he was on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was fun. And it, like, and not that, okay, this sounds like I'm making a distinction. A lot of the crowds at JJ shows were rowdy, right? But like, yeah. At one point, like, there was a fight that kept breaking. I think it was between the same people, like right next to the stage. And JJ's girlfriend, who I think he's now married to, got up on a road case and smashed a wine bottle and stuck it in one of the dude's faces. And that stopped the fight. And it was,
wow.
Yeah. It was, I was impressed. I remember it was like right next to me. And then after that, it was just like, all right, no one fucks with Kelsey. Mm-mm. Ever.
No.
Ever.
Nope.
Yeah.
Ass out of here packing because you two idiots wanted to fight. All right? So cut that shit out.
So anyway, but when they come in from the Mud Bog, like to the area where, because this is like, it's not like official, like the Kentucky Derby's official, but it's like they do have obviously live music, so there's like this centralized fair kind of area, right? So people go out to the shittiest, swampiest part, to the bog, and then they come back to, like a bunch of areas for eating and I don't think showering, and the stage and whatever else. So like, you're seeing people fresh out of the bog, just covered in mud, and it was a fun gig, playing those things, because like at the very least, the people were into it, and it's just seeing. I mean, you've seen videos of like Woodstock, people in the mud, just kind of messing around, like
not giving a fuck.
It's fun to watch, from afar.
Yeah.